One. Well, ladies and gentlemen, yes, we are back. Me and Larry have survived hurricanes. Moochie has survived hot New York City heat in
It's
August.
raining here now.
Oh, y'all getting the rain now?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. To give you guys a little bit more entertainment, it's the homie.
Sorry.
Oh,
she's getting an alert.
Oh, shoot.
That was a flood warning.
Oh,
Yeah.
hell, you ain't gotta go get on your. You ain't gotta go get on your roof, do you, Moochie?
No, I'm good.
We're about to see Moochie swimming.
I'm good.
Nah, bro, Larry, you know how these our sisters are with their hair. Man, they ain't getting in no water unless they got a cap on that head like they in the Olympics. Ain't gonna be no swimming out there. But ladies and gentlemen, we are here to entertain you, to inform you on the best show that is out right now, Godfather of Harlem. And if you haven't watched it, we're going to spoil it. So if you want to hear spoilers, you can stay. If not, you can go. But on your way out, please like this video, by the way. So if you want to hear spoilers,
on your way in, like it too.
Yeah, like it too. Either way, get you going and coming.
That's like ringing the bell.
Right. It was probably one of the better season finales I've seen in, I'm gonna say, about 3 or 4 years. It was a great finale. I really enjoyed it. I can't wait to see what they're gonna do next season. And we're just gonna dive into it. In true Lamont Tyson Life Games form, I always give you guys a video clip near the beginning of all my videos to give you an essence of what happened. So here we go. But I will tell you this. There's going to be bonus videos in this one. But here's the first one.
Ain't about choices. It's about survival.
What I'm about to say goes no further.
You got it, boss. This thing goes to your grave. I got credible evidence it's going to be an attempt on Malcolm's life.
There's chaos out there.
When a dog bites you, you gotta bite it back.
When the dog bites you, you got to bite it back. And he should have said bite it back even harder. Moochie and Larry, I'm going to start with you tonight, Big Larry. They opened this whole thing up with New York City, really the whole United States during that era was in tatters because they was killing unarmed black folks the same way we still seeing it happen nowadays. And it was causing riots and all kinds of hoopla while Senator Clayton is with the president waiting for the civil rights bill. And they entered the story, Larry, with Mamie and Elise going to the protest, even though Bumpy was like, nah, man, I'm a little nervous, but I'm going to let y'all do it. I'm going to let you go. Larry, speak on it, man. There was a lot of chaos going on.
Yeah, it's, it was one of those times where it was crazy. And Mamie's a straight G because she was like, I might live up in this ivory tower where no one can touch me, but I'm going down in those streets, and she knew the risk and she suffered the consequences too. So, it was, I like seeing her like that because we're so used to seeing Mamie as just this fine chick that's like sort of, that's just sort of above everybody else. She's she often acts as Malcolm's, as Bumpy's conscience sometimes when Malcolm's not doing it. She's obviously beautiful. She's a kind-hearted. She's doing all kinds of good works for the community. And it's easy to forget that she's still in it with everyone else. Like, she's not exempt to all the BS. So it was good to see her hitting those streets. And it was unfortunate that she got hurt, but, it was a nice reminder to everyone that no matter how high and lofty you are, you can still get touched.
Yeah, they touched a good fashion too. But I thought it was, and I'm going to come to you for this, Moochie, I thought that they did a good job in this season of bringing home the relationship between Mamie and Elise, Bumpy's daughter, with the background of her daughter being the catalyst that kept them together. And in this last episode, Elise was doing some real G shit. I was so happy to see her getting gangster. But she went with Mamie, or started to go with Mamie, to the protest. When Mamie came back beat up, who was the first one to caress her and put ice on her? None other than this beautiful queen right here.
Yeah.
Jump on in there, Moochie.
I like the fact that they went together because she was helping her up too when they knocked her down.
Yeah.
So she did all of that. And then as far as with their relationship, how much better it is than when it was from the first season. It's awesome. It's really good to see them getting along, and they basically, now that Mary knows, the daughter knows, Margaret knows, I'm sorry, now that Margaret knows the truth, everybody, it's a lot of, all the pressure's going.
ER's grandpa said, the girl said mom, and both looked.
Yeah, they really did. They really did.
They both are the moms at this point until she gets a little older because of where this child's understanding is at. But Larry, just talk to me, man. Like the way they wrote this story with the score. For those of you who don't know what the score is, the music. The way they wrote this story is very believable. You're engaged, and the music is fire. Talk a little bit about how you felt about the writing to them getting home to this finale and the music.
Well, you know, one thing that kind of caught me was that scene where the guys were coming back from Canada and they pulled up with the truck and they show them it. They had that sort of pulsing music that was very reminiscent of like Wakanda, the Wakanda theme song where you gotta have that whoop 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 whoop. You know, it was it had that same vibe, and it was like I heard it because I was in the kitchen at the time when I first watched it. I was in the kitchen cooking, and I heard that, and I sort of perked up. Was like, wait, what? Because it had that same sort of vibe, like they're doing something, like we're about to get into something, and you know, so. But the music was just really, really good. It really just tied in with the action of the you know, the riots and the drama. It's sort of it, you know. I mean, I think they've just done a really. I don't know who the musical supervisor is in this series, but they've done a really good job.
Swiss Beats.
Swiss Beats, yeah.
Swiss Beats, co-produced by Rick Ross. Kendrick Lamar was involved on the project, and it was one more from Atlanta, and I forgot who that other one was, but man. He's done a really wonderful job, I think, of maintaining the tone with the music and helping the pacing and everything. Because everything in this episode just flowed so well. I mean, the episode felt like it was only about 30 minutes long. I know it was a regular length, but it was just it went by so fast because everything tied in so well. Yeah. And I love the way
very well.
Man,
and they have themes that always. I mean, there's always themes that run through everything. But I really found like some of the themes that just worked well in this episode, like the whole thing with you have Gigante trying to protect the man that his daughter loves, and you have Bumpy trying to protect the man that his daughter loves, and we get to see how those things turn, you know, how they play out differently for each man. And I mean, that was just a theme I thought that was just very, very cool in this. You know, in this episode. So,
ladies and gentlemen, coming to the stage is the Cadillac. Oh, let me step this up because this is 2021. It's the premium Tesla that we only get to rent twice a week. Put your hands together for Miss K, ladies and gentlemen. Miss K is in the building.
Hey guys.
I don't know how Miss K feels about being rented.
I mean, she ain't gonna let us own the car. Right. All we get to do is rent the car. So I mean, we take what we can get.
Hey guys, I'm sorry I'm late.
It's all good.
It's a tornado watch going on, so the stress levels are kind of high, and it's in my area. And my son sent me a picture of somebody's house is almost ripped to shreds. So,
oh my God.
Oh man, so y'all getting the remnants of what me and Larry got last night and today.
They heard my alert.
Yeah, Moochie got an alert right when we was on air.
You're in Ohio, right?
Me?
You're in the Midwest?
I'm in South Jersey now.
Oh, you're in South Jersey. My bad. Okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
So all my people out there that's in this area, just be wary. If you have to go get in the closet or go underneath the stairwell, do what you got to do, but be safe about it. Miss K, you done walk right into Godfather of Harlem. And we're just breaking in about the opening scene with everybody riding because they're killing unarmed black people all over again.
Wow.
We talked about the strength of Mamie and Elise going out there protesting. And then in the midst of all that, our guy Bumpy met up with Morgenthau, who basically told him there is about to be a hit from Mosque Number 7 on your boy Malcolm's life. And I want you to just talk about how you felt about this conversation and this exchange, because I like how they said if this was a different time and place, we could have been great friends.
Right. I like this scene too. And I like how I think that if Bumpy never told Morgenthau that, you know, I didn't really choose this life, I wanted to be a lawyer too, I don't think he would have gave that information about the assassination plot. It was like he was looking at him through a different lens this time, you know, because he's, you know, these people that he's trying to prosecute, in his mind, they're just criminals. And, you know, Bumpy says, look, you probably think because we both kind of come from the same history with the background of oppression and everything. And then that's when Morgenthau tries to hit him with the, well, you know, my family was immigrants. We were ostracized, blah, blah, blah. No. And I still became a lawyer, you know, and then Bumpy tried to say, look, I tried to be a lawyer too. But when they found out that Ellsworth Johnson was Black, they didn't accept it. And it kind of just made Morgenthau look like, whoa, see, I didn't know that, you know? And so he was just, if you look at that scene, you could see Morgenthau's face is like, wow, like he was really, it was like a serious revelation for him. And when Bumpy tried to leave, that's when he said, listen, are you friends with Malcolm? And, you know, this is information that he's not supposed to share.
Right.
You know,
this is intel.
Yes. So I think that's the only reason why. And probably he's probably also thinking, look, one of these days I'm going to get you because I got to do my job, but at least I gave you something.
Yeah.
Damn. Boy, I tell you, when you got to go behind Miss K, man, you better have your suit on, boy, because she come with the quotes, the facts. So I'm just going to go right to Moochie, who does a good job of following up behind Miss K. And Moochie, me and you was talking before everybody got here about there were so many lines in this particular finale that was quotable. Miss K just gave you some. Larry gave you some when he was talking. So tell me how you felt about this exchange with Morgenthau and Bumpy.
With this whole thing, when he told him he couldn't be a lawyer once they found out his name, I think they saw his name and then they found out he was Black. They didn't want him to be a lawyer. And then I think he saw him in a different light, like Miss K said, and I think his whole demeanor changed after that. Because now, like she said, he is seen as a criminal, but this was not by choice. How else is he going to earn money at this stage?
Yeah. He can go work at McDonald's.
No, this is true, but I'm just saying the money he's making. McDonald's wasn't even out then.
I'm just giving you. McDonald's was out in the '60s. I'm just giving you a hard time, Mooch. I mean, you know,
that's how he's seeing it.
Right. I mean, but what I just said is what someone in Morgenthau's ilk would say.
Right.
Like, you a damn lawyer, and you had all these opportunities that I didn't get, but you're gonna tell me I need to. What did they say on Fox News all the time, Larry? Work your finger to the bone. Tighten your bootstraps. Yeah, I don't take vacation. I work 72 hours, knowing good and damn well their asses is lying. That's what bothers me. Stop lying to us. You ain't doing that shit. You up here being just as crooked as you can in a very gray area of the law, especially with your taxes. I know I rub elbows with y'all. So don't be trying to tell us what our plight is. Hell, we ain't trying to work on McDonald's. No. Jump on in there, Larry.
I mean, that's what they want us to believe, is that if you just pull yourself up by your bootstraps, you can make it. But that's simply not the case when people actively deny you opportunity because of the color of your skin. And I think Bumpy was making Morgenthau just keenly aware of that, just saying, hey, you may see us as the same, but we're not the same, because you're Jewish because you're Jewish and that's that, but you let everyone know you're Jewish. Like, you could change your name to something that's very just Eurocentric and pass as any other white guy. I mean, I'm not saying that Jewish people could do it, but they have done it. They do it at times, and Black folks don't have those options. And so I think he was letting them know, like, hey, you could think of me of that way, but I'm part of me is glad that Morgenthau did, because it at least gave Bumpy the opportunity to pass that information on to Malcolm and save his life in that moment. So
yeah,
that
was good.
But yeah, man, it's this. I don't know where they're going with this next season. I mean, it's going to be, well, some of it, where they're going, because we know some of the story, but it's going to be interesting to see how some of these relationships play out, because are we jumping around, or are we sticking on a schedule?
You can jump around. We jumping around. I mean, anybody on this panel want to jump around when you expand on one of the subjects I bring up, feel free.
So one of the things I'm interested to see how these things are going to play out, because we know that there's going to be a lot of turmoil with some of these relationships, because we know that Gigante's going to be in all kinds of trouble, because he didn't pissed off Stella again, and Bumpy lost all the doogie. So I mean,
oh God, yeah, man.
I
Lord
mean,
have mercy.
He lost all those people's doogie. I mean, what are they going to do? They don't care about a fire. They don't care about that. I mean, it was his job to secure that, and he didn't do it. He decided, I mean, to be honest, I don't know what he could have done, but in that moment, he chose his friend over his business, and he's going to have to pay the consequences for that.
So that's a question, if I could jump in with that one. Because I thought about that too. They were saying, oh, there goes the French connection, but they made them pay up front. So why are they saying there goes the French connection? The French connection shouldn't be affected, because they made them pay for the doogie up front. They would probably have more of an issue with the mob, right? The other 5 families. Right. That's what they should have a problem with. So I don't know why they had them say there goes the French connection. I don't know. Maybe they feel like the French connection is going to be like, you guys are always got, you always got something going on. I don't know.
I think the issue with that is the French connection is not lost, but the problem is that was a lot of money they just lost that Bumpy is going to have to pay the families. Then he's going to have to come up with the money to re-up with the French connection again. So where is he going to come up with all that money?
Right. And then
so go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was going to say, and then the fact that I don't know if the Harlem Bank or the Bank of Harlem is associated with the frat brothers, but that was just looted, as we could see. So is that an issue too? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's where he got some of the money from.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, here's a couple of things. One, I think that they were saying the French connection was over, because I think, just like you said, they're going to be like, you guys are always messing up. And I think sometimes with some of these drug dealers and other criminal organizations, it's not just a matter of doing business, but how you do business. And if they don't like the way you're doing business, because it could blow back on them at some point, like, yeah, maybe you paid cash up front, they got everything they wanted from you. But if they feel like the next time they do business with you, because of the way you do business, it may end up blowing up in their face. They just may not want to deal with you. And and there's gonna be turmoil. There's gonna be fighting and killing and everything else, because somehow that debt has to get paid one way or another. It's gonna get paid either it's either gonna get paid in cash, in doogie, or it's gonna get paid in blood. And and as far as the bank, I don't know if the frat brothers own that or not, but I think that, the good thing about banks is banks don't keep that much money in there. People think that they do, but they don't. Most of the money is just on paper. So, if you go to a bank, if you have $1 million in the bank and you go to the bank and say, I want to withdraw $1 million, they don't have that kind of cash on hand.
One of my banks do
a cashier's check or tell you to come back in a few days when they can get it.
One of my banks do. One of my banks got their own tempered, what the guy told me, tempered nuclear vault.
Wow.
Okay.
And only one person has access to it, and that one person is not there at the bank every day. You don't know when that person.
I think that's a rare thing. I think most banks just don't have that sort of cash on hand.
Gotcha.
So the interesting thing was, it seemed like they were in there in the vault looting the safe deposit boxes, and that's something that's interesting, because safe deposit boxes aren't insured. So it's like you can keep whatever you want in there, but if it gets broken into, the bank's not responsible for it.
Now, you can pay the bank to have insurance on the safe deposit box. But most people say, hell to the no, I'm not paying that fee. But
it's not part of the FDIC. It's not like the federal government's gonna pay for it.
No, the bank's insurance would pay for it if you buy the insurance that they give you with the box, but nobody ever gets it. Nobody. All right, Mooch, swinging your way now.
I didn't get to
Oh, my bad. I thought you talked about
It's all right. Go ahead.
Oh, my bad. I thought you jumped on in that. My bad.
No, I was waiting. Okay.
Oh, well, go ahead. We ain't in that big of a rush.
Well, I was with this. It was somebody that left it in the comments, and that was a good idea. I was like, why did they take all this shit out the truck anyway to begin with?
Right.
And then you mean to tell me Bumpy told you you handle it. I'm putting it in your hands to handle this. Mm-hmm. You mean to tell me you couldn't think of let's put this in the truck and move it out of the area? You in New York. It's 5 boroughs. What?
But
right,
see,
who was really? They can't see inside of it. So who would have really been trying to get inside the truck?
Ain't nobody tried to touch that truck when that guy was hopping up and down on top of the hood of that car. They let the truck go right on through.
But they were burning vehicles, and there's even a shot of them standing behind a vehicle burning right there. I mean, it was. I mean, I think there was a risk to the truck, just like there was a risk to the warehouse.
Mm-hmm. And
plus the police backed the truck into the warehouse and left the stuff in the truck. If it's a fire started, they could have got in the truck and kept it moving.
Yeah,
maybe.
Yeah,
but they was throwing gas bombs, Moochie. That'll set a truck on fire too. And see, in this clip right here, this is after the doogie done got burned. Look at how they look. I mean, Poach, he looks sad as hell because he know Bumpy is going to be on that ass next season. Oh Lord, Bumpy's going to get him.
After the other one was stealing from him.
Right. And
Bumpy doesn't have anybody to blame for but himself. Dude was on the phone begging with him. Please, said, we need you. Hurry up, please.
But Larry, what you gonna do? Is you gonna come save my life, or is you gonna go try to protect $10 million? Which one you gonna do?
Well, I mean, I'm saving your life, but
there you go.
But here's the thing: if you have to also consider the fact that there's gonna be a lot more lives that are lost with the loss of that doogie.
Okay, then let me die.
Malcolm's life, but now
let me die. Let me die. Let that old crooked ass. What's his name? What's the bald head dude name? I can't stand that guy. Captain save a black woman that he can't get. Let him shoot me right in my eyeball, Larry. Just poop.
Omar, you talking about?
Yeah, Omar.
Yeah.
Now y'all do know that the reason why he's so mad at Malcolm, I hate to use blunt language, is over pussy, right? I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Over what though? Whose?
Elise.
Elise didn't give it up though to him.
He wanted it, and Malcolm already had control of it. So he's jealous with Malcolm over Elise.
And more. But I get
that's
what
because
you're saying.
the girl with the damn white glasses probably told him all of that.
And I think that's stupid because Elise was still trying to give him a chance. So he's dumb.
Well,
I love that Elise got a little gangster at the end. She was like, look, bitch.
I got you. Let's go ahead and dive on into that right now. I love this clip of Elise. I mean, it was so quotable. Elise, I'm with you on this one, my dear. Here we go.
What are you doing here?
Where's Omar?
None of your business.
Where is he?
Get out of this mosque, traitor.
You best tell me what the hell's going on before I take these glasses and shove them up your ass. If you even think about lying to me, I will end you.
Damn. Ooh.
In my trailer breakdown, that's the first thing I was talking about them glasses. Like, I wonder what she gonna do with them glasses.
Yeah.
Moochie, we're gonna go to you first since we shorted you on the last one. Did you see the way she had her hand on her mouth and was looking down on her little short ass?
Yes.
Took the glass.
I love it.
She put up against that wall. I thought it was gonna be a cat fight. I thought he was gonna be like, I thought he was gonna see all of that, but we ain't see all of that.
Moochie, this was not going to be a cat fight. Do you hear me? She was going there to save the person she loves. That little short sister better be happy better be happy Elise had lunch, because she would have ate her ass royal.
Yeah. Elise might snap her neck, boy.
Yeah, go ahead, Moochie.
Her up against that wall, put her hand over her mouth and snatch them glasses off.
and then she said, "I will end you." She ain't say I'm gonna whip your ass.
Yeah.
she
ain't say what life she came from for her to think that she was gonna get away with talking to her like that.
Exactly.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, Elise lived on the street for years.
You forgot who her daddy was. You just really freaking bumped your head.
And you know what? Here's the problem with her. This was a vicious circle, and I'll bring it to you, Larry. This chick is jealous of Elise because she wanted Malcolm's attention, and Omar is jealous of Malcolm because he wanted Elise's attention. Larry, talk about what you felt when you saw this scene.
Yeah, I was just thinking. I was like, man, you didn't. I felt like I was hearing Bill Duke in my head saying, you know, you didn't fucked up, right? You know, because I was like, she's about to put those paws on her, you know. I mean, how quick did you see the fear on that woman's face? How quickly she pushed her up against there and put her hand over her mouth. Was like, she was basically like, look, I let you get away with talking to me crazy because I'm trying to be a good person.
Yeah.
But if you make me, I'm going to end you. You know? And that's one of those moments when you realize you are wholly vulnerable to somebody else. Like, you are living right now solely in their good graces. You know, like, if anything, for any reason, they could just go ahead and just take you out, and there's nothing you could do. That chick looked like she weighed 98 pounds, and Elise was ready to go ahead and snap that neck.
I mean, and the chick
break the glasses, though.
The chick looked like she was 5 foot. Elise looked like she was at least 5'10", looking down on her like, lady.
Yeah.
So we'll come to you now, Miss K. How did you feel? What were your emotions in the moment that our girl Elise came in there and let the hood back out of?
I was like, dang, I wish there would have been more, but I loved how it was funny how she's like, get out of here, traitor. Like, who you think? Yo, I don't got time for this. Who you think you talking to?
Yeah. It's like Larry said, Miss K, Elise tempered herself through the whole series to be more ingratiated with the religion and with the people in the mosque. And she followed this woman's lead, not because she liked her, but because that was the way of following direction. And she had never seen this side of her. So she literally thought, I could just run up on her and talk to her any kind of way, because in the past, she's been a sweetheart to her.
Yeah, that's like somebody last day on the job. Like, be talking to me in the open.
You know what, Miss K? Thank you for telling me that. I would never hire you for any of my career. I ain't about that life. I ain't about that life. You nice for 4 years. Then all of a sudden, the last day, you done call me every Tom, Dick, and Harry known to man.
See, no, that don't do it.
See, what you have to do, Lamont, is you have to.
I don't believe in burning bridges, so I don't get down like that. But for her, that's her situation. And not only was she trying to be temperament because of the religion, remember, she was on a mission. So she's no longer needed in there anymore for Malcolm. So it's like, look, I can't, now I'm on a different mission and I need to get what I came here to get. So it's going to be a problem if you don't let me know. And we already know, you know, she know how to use a razor too. So
she showed you that last
carved that booty open.
Oh my goodness. This guy got the jokes tonight. Talking about she gonna carve a booty like a Halloween pumpkin. Look at her. Oh, let me find out.
That's right.
Oh man.
So we also had another sighting, my people. Someone we've been wanting to know, where was they at? Our boy, Senator Clayton Powell. He popped up with the president for the Civil Rights Bill. And, you know, this was a quotable moment as well. The president talked about how he couldn't have Clayton Powell there because he had to have Martin Luther King there. Had to have him there. And to usurp that denial. What he did was he gave him a cigarette lighter, and he told Clayton Powell, "Don't go paying no whores," or whatever he said. And Clayton Powell got in his face, "I don't pay for pussy." That's what he said. I give this one to you first, Miss K. Go ahead.
Oh my gosh.
Go ahead, take it and run. That's what he said. That's what he said.
Oh my goodness.
That's what he said.
I mean, look, when he said that, I was like, oh my gosh. And this man, you know, he was a reverend, all kind. I'm like, this man is just a mess. But I liked seeing him in this episode. You know, he really did such a good job, Giancarlo Esposito, with the emotions that he was showing throughout this whole episode. You know, when they got the phone call that the actress passed, and you know he's thinking that this is a moment to celebrate, but look what happens throughout the whole episode. It wasn't anything to celebrate at all.
Right. So
I don't want to jump forward. I want.
Oh no, go ahead. Go ahead. Talk about it a little bit, because you're absolutely right. I know Larry gonna sweep up the pieces on this one.
Okay. So, you know, as he's so excited, you know, he's happy, this and that, but then he's getting kind of like these wake up calls. Well, he got whoever that guy is that was with him was saying
that's the president.
No, not LBJ. I'm talking about that. Yeah, his little assistant.
Oh, that's his chief of staff.
Yeah, chief of staff.
He had told him something, you know, along the lines of, you know, he kind of was being a little sarcastic, you know what I mean? Like, you really think that things are gonna be different and that's it? And then we had Chance and Nat. They were talking, and Chance, Nat seemed like he was excited, and Chance was like, please, that is not gonna change nothing. You think a bill being passed is gonna change folks' minds, you know? And you know, and I think with the guy, back to what I don't know his name, that assistant guy, I think he was the one that said that you passed the law, right? But it doesn't basically go back to the crimes that was committed, you know, under the Jim Crow, right?
Right. That's exactly what he said.
Right. And so it's like, for what? You know, it's throughout the whole episode. You're hearing everybody saying, really, for what? Malcolm X, everybody. So I don't want to take up too much of anybody's time, so I'm gonna let whoever else go.
Moochie, jump on in there, but I mean that was a good round table, and don't worry, we gonna fill in the holes for you. Cause oh boy, I got a quote for Larry. Go ahead, Moochie.
I like this scene because now we know where he was. He was busy with the whole civil rights movement, with the passing this law,
LBJ,
and as far as with him and his assistant, he was kind of discouraging, like, okay, you passed this law, but do it really mean anything? And as far as with when they were driving, how far can I don't want to go too far.
No, go wherever you want to go. Don't worry.
When they were driving back and he started to see how bad it was, then that's when the reality set in, like he was right. So you could see like his whole expression change. It was like a happiness that was deflated all of a sudden.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, his moment was stolen from him.
Yeah.
It was definitely stolen. I mean, think about all the African Americans that have had their moments, their lives, and the people they love stolen from them through the history of this country. And you throw us a paper bone that in order for it to work, there's got to be some level of enforcement. And that's why I come to you, Larry.
Right.
They passed that civil rights bill, and I'm going to say the people living during that time and even their kids didn't really get the fruits of that bill passing, because when you pass that type of legislation, Larry, it takes decades for the enforcement arm to catch up with the bill itself. I mean, you still see what's going on. The very reason they was having riots this episode, we still having them today. We just had the whole thing last week. Last year, I can't breathe. So pick up anywhere you want to, my brother, from the dialogues between people believing that this is going to help, to those that don't, to the passing of the bill, to even the little discussion right here between Clayton Powell and his number one guy.
Yeah, I really like this scene right here with Livingston Wingate. That it just sounds like such a posh name. Like this dude was just like a straight up rich Jack and Jill kid that was like, I know I'm privileged and I'm rich and I probably went to Howard Law because that was probably the only place he could have gone. But he was like, I'm coming back to do the work.
Larry,
because he said he left his firm and he came to do the work.
His name is the brand, Larry, of two separate high-end hotel chains, Livingston and Wingate.
Yeah. But I think, somebody in the comments said that he was crying because he stroked his ego. I don't really think that's what it was. I think it's that, and if we watch his character, if we watch Adam Clayton Powell's character throughout this series, he's always talking about another piece of legislation, doing something else. There's always more to do. He's always pushing forward. And in this moment where he has this sort of stuffy, buttoned up, chief of staff who doesn't drink, it's like he finally gets the guy to have a couple drinks and he relaxes, and the guy just sort of tells him like, I'm in awe of you. It's like, here it is, just in the last year you passed 50 pieces of legislation, all of them helping our people. It's just absolutely amazing. And I think that for a lot of people, and this doesn't just go for him, it goes for all people who get busy and do stuff, you keep on pushing forward so much. Oftentimes you don't take a moment to stop and recognize your own accomplishments. And so you just keep going, and somebody will stop you and say, look what you did. Like, just pause for a second. I know you're trying to do something. Just stop for a second and look what you did. Right. And sometimes when you do that, it could be a little overwhelming, like, holy crap, And so I think that's what it was in that moment, where he was just sort of caught off guard. Not because his ego was stroked, but because he really did realize, I guess I've done a lot. I've been working hard and I've done a lot. And, but I like that scene a lot. Put the other picture up there. There was something else in there I was going to say, but I can't remember which was. I'll have to see yes, these conversations, I found that they were having this same conversation, and I think this is just a very real conversation where you have people in the same groups, the same friend groups, the same family groups, the same church groups, whatever, who feel very differently about the same things. And, just in this truck right here, you have one guy that's basically saying, I don't think anything's going to change. I think it's just a piece of paper, and I'm not going to change my life based on it. I think Whitey's going to continue to be evil because that's what he is. That's what he's done. You can't make him change all of a sudden because somebody passed some legislation. And we saw that conversation happening in multiple places. We saw that happening with those two. We saw what happened with Mike Wallace and Malcolm X. We've seen it. We were seeing it in a couple of different places throughout here, and it's something that I think that conversation we have today amongst ourselves when people talk about how should we protest? Should we be peaceful? Should we be violent? Is it okay to burn stuff, or should we show up at between 9 and 6 and then go home when the curfew hits? And so it's all this stuff. It's very relevant to today, and it's also sad because it's so relevant to today.
Agreed. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we've got 115 watching the show. Can we please get 115 likes? It'd be very grateful. Somebody got their window open. Y'all good? We good, my up north girls?
What is your fan?
Hold on. Okay, that was me.
Oh,
I put the air on, so now I gotta suffer. Okay, never mind.
No.
Turn the air off.
Oh God!
It sounded like somebody going.
No, I was worried the tornado or something. I don't know. That's what I'm like. Whoa! Like I just hear wind blowing. Hey, I'm just gonna make sure y'all good. So
you know what? There was one thing, Lamont, I wanted to mention. Like earlier in the mosque, when the little short chick called Elise a traitor.
Yeah.
The thing that I found interesting is that she was up there, knew about this plot to kill Malcolm. The other two dudes, Omar and the other dude, were actually out there trying to kill him. And Elise is the one that's actually following the dictate of Elijah Muhammad, which was don't kill Malcolm. Leave Malcolm alone. I don't want him killed, especially by somebody in the nation. So she's actually trying to live up to the dictates of Minister of Elijah Muhammad, and yet they're calling her a traitor. It's
Right.
it's just ironic and a little bit ridiculous. But I guess that is part of the hypocrisy of all these groups. You know.
That's thank you. Now you find. I remember last year you wanted to debate me, Larry, when I said every one of these groups, including church groups, are full of hypocrisies. You just gotta wait to find them. And here's a prime example of that shit right there. Right there. The leadership at this mosque was told by the good apostle, do not lay a finger on Malcolm. Leave him alone. But they got caught up in their own jealousy, their own rage, their own intentions, and just said the hell with it. And jump on in there, Miss K.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. I watched a documentary. I don't know if a lot of you guys probably saw that. What was it called? Who Killed Malcolm X?
Oh, the one on Netflix. Yeah, I was going to mention that.
Yeah, there was people that were, in the nation, and they were saying that was the dear holy apostle used to be dropping subliminal messages. All right, and so to me, when he was like, don't let anyone who is currently in the nation touch Malcolm, right? Mm-hmm. And also, what was another thing that he said? Don't do anything that's gonna fall back on me. So it's okay if you guys want to kill Malcolm, but make sure that it doesn't look like it's coming from the Nation of Islam. Make sure that if you could hire somebody from outside of the nation, and like I said, there were because J. Edgar Hoover, I saw people mentioning him in the comments. That man, he was all over the place with that stuff. Mm-hmm. He had their phone tapped. So Elijah Muhammad knew this, so he was saying the right things on the phone, right? Mm-hmm. He wanted, and then in that documentary, it was always said that he was like saying little stuff like Malcolm gotta go, this, that, and the third. And so he had those kind of soldiers that loved him so much that was like, if he give any kind of hint, then that's what they're gonna do. So I just kind of feel like that was an example of, if he just said a little something subliminal, then boom.
Yeah. Well, not to mention, I wish they would have brought in a little bit of J. Edgar Hoover's hatred toward Black people, minorities, and Jews, because I don't know how much y'all follow history the way me and Larry do, but he was a closet gay person.
Yeah.
And so he took out a lot of his aggression toward minorities, in particular the Black community. So he was the one. Now, I don't know if y'all remember, but he bugged the room where Martin Luther King was having sex with a jump off. Yeah. That was an unordered wiretapping of the room. Nobody ordered that. He just did it and tried to use it against Martin Luther King with LBJ. Right. And LBJ said, well, gosh, you son, don't we all got little secret jump offs? I'm still getting this damn bill passed. That's what LBJ said. That's exactly what he said. So maybe next season, if they're going to try to find a creative way to build on the story, we might see Hoover in next season, because from what I'm understanding, Morgenthau is going to fuck up, and then Hoover is going to want to get involved because of what's going on with Malcolm. But y'all ain't hear that from me, even though y'all know my channel is the leak theory channel. I get these leaks.
Has it been renewed? Because people in the chat is saying that it hasn't been renewed as of yet.
It hasn't been renewed yet. But Swiss Beat said they already got some production done for season 3. I don't know how.
So it's going to get renewed then.
I don't know. We'll see. All right, Moochie, you back on deck.
Right.
Before we play this is a whole story by itself. So I had to pull y'all another clip. and let us give Larry, and me too, because I agree with him, give us our flowers. And if Larry wants Krispy Kreme, give him Krispy Kreme. We specifically said Estelle is a red herring, a black widow. She is the type of creature that eats the men that gives her babies, and damn, They all did.
So she's a man eater.
That's what she does. She's a man killer. Here we go.
Two married people can't testify against each other.
May the Lord in his kindness strengthen the consent you have declared before the church. And what God has joined together, let no man put asunder. I now declare you man and wife.
Lord have it. No man put us under. Boy. Whew. Moochie, you get first dibs on this because this is a long, grand story. Estelle.
Okay, so we going to the death too?
Yeah, you can go to the death.
All right.
I got you, Larry, and Miss K. Just go wherever you want to go.
Now, with this whole scene, I feel like when she locked her in the room, that's when she should have told her father she married Ernie and try to talk to him. But I'm like, why didn't she tell him when he came in the room to tell her? Was she too afraid to tell him?
Yeah, probably.
So it's like with that, I was wondering why she didn't tell him. Then when his brother told him, it was just like he lost it. And I'm like, why is he gonna kill this kid?
He lost it with the brother, but the brother had to check his ass.
Yeah.
The brother is the very reason. The brother was the seed planted in Chin that tried to save Ernie. The brother got that part started, but go ahead.
Yeah, but he already put out the order.
He did, but he
was like, what?
And this is the cat that he sent on the order. Look at this dude looking like Master Splinter from the Ninja Turtle.
He looked like a rat, yeah.
He's from remember he was the little racist prick from what's that daggone movie? I know it. With the one that plays Banano. Bronx Tale.
Oh, he was in Bronx Tale?
Yeah, he was in Bronx. He sure was, because I was picking on him then too. Yeah. I said if they do another live action Ninja Turtles, they better go get him.
Oh, Lombardi. Ugh.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think he the thing that, if I can jump in, is it okay?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Not Moochie. This situation that you was talking about, Moochie, you said that why didn't she tell? And so my question with that scene was, when he came in, she said, "We fixed it, Dad." So my thing was, why didn't he say, "How did you fix it?" I was waiting for him to be like, "How?" So then she could have said, "Well, we got married," but she didn't say anything. I mean, it was like so I think when she told him that the whole phone call conversation happened, it was just like, oh gosh, what happened? Oh, wow.
God, boy, he ain't even get a sniff.
Why was Ernie always crying though? Every time it's like he talked to Stella, he was always like on the verge of tears. I don't know if this guy was a simp or if it was just that he was so scared, like, I'm in love with the wrong chick. I just have a feeling.
He was like Larry said, he was in love.
No, your gut no. Maybe his gut, maybe he wanted to act like his gut knew that he was gonna die for loving her.
Every time he was telling her that he loved her, whatever. Oh my gosh, this guy was almost in tears.
Passion.
Jump on in there, Larry. The man was in love. Y'all remember that? What was that group? All for One, So in Love. He was so in love. He was in love.
Let's not get it twisted. It's not like Ernie's a good guy. He did some good things, but he was still not a good guy. But ultimately, he did love Stella truly, because even in the moments when it came down to him saying, "Okay, I could just let Stella's man just get blasted, or I can try and go save his life, not because I want those two to be together, but because I want Stella to be happy." Right. Dude decided he would rather the girl he loves to be happy, and that meant going against everybody. I mean, this dude's trying to be a made man, and he's going against the wishes of the dawn of the family. He's up there trying to save this black dude's life so that the girl he wants could be happy. I mean, this dude loved that girl,
Yeah.
And I mean, we knew he was getting taken out. We knew Gigante wasn't going to let that happen,
You said last week he was going to let him live.
I did think he was gonna let him live, but I didn't think Ernie was gonna live. Because if it had turned out, Jaconte was trying to let him live. You know, he was in there. He was in the bank to save his life, but Duke just got to him first.
And yeah, he did. You got Moochie.
But
you
he
got
heard him yelling in there. Why he ain't stop? I was like, what the heck?
It was just stupid. Listen, the guy asked when what's his name came in. What's the name again? I hate when I be forgetting the name. Chin came in, right? He's calling Ernie. Ernie comes out. What does Ernie say? Boss, what are you doing here? Why didn't Lombardi come out and say the same freaking thing? Boss, what are you doing here? And instead, he's just gonna go and shoot the guy.
Who?
I'm assuming Lombardi was like. I'm assuming Lombardi was thinking he was here to make sure the job got done. You know, I'm assuming that's what it was.
But here's the other thing, Larry. He shot when he shot him like in the sight of the boss. Like he could have easily made a mistake and shot Chin.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I thought that was going to happen. When I saw how he fell, I was like, "Oh, damn!"
That's how he should have.
You know, the interesting thing is, and it's not like I've ever been a mob member or anything, but from my understanding, these dudes, whenever a made man is getting killed, there's supposed to be votes on all this stuff. There's supposed to be discussions, and people are supposed to vote on it and decide if they're going to kill the guy. And these guys are running around just killing made men like there's no consequences.
Not necessarily with your crew, I think. With your crew, they look how Tony Soprano was going for his guys.
Yeah, within
how they killed
Pussy.
They ain't have no meeting for that.
Within your family, I don't think you need a meeting, but it's probably within like the 5 families you probably how they voted.
If it's something else, like where it's fighting with another family, then they have a sit down. I mean, that's how they show it in the movies. It's not like I don't personally know, but I'm just saying.
I don't know, Moochie. You know everything about the New York Supreme Team. I don't know.
I mean, Chin's not even gonna have a family because everybody's gonna be killed off in a minute.
Oh yeah. Speaking of which, Larry, at the very end, because Chin was the mastermind of killing her man, she called Morgenthau and ratted on her daddy.
Yeah.
Right away. But she told him what she was going to do if something else happened.
Right.
Now do y'all see why I said from the very first episode, I said the most dangerous person on this show is Estelle.
Yeah.
Said it. And I'll ask you this, Larry, then we'll move on. What do you think they're going to do with her character next season? Is there going to be a rift between her and the mama? Because you saw how the mama was like, "Oh, I can come get you out of jail. I can do what I got to do." All that kind of stuff. Where we going?
Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen with that because really, to be honest with you, she's sort of all alone right now. Because without her dad, what does she have? Her stepmom is her stepmom. She doesn't really care about her. The only person who really truly loved her is Ernie, and he's dead.
And Teddy too, and he's dead.
Well, Teddy too, but yeah, he's dead. I mean, she doesn't really have any. I don't know what maybe she's gonna go live with Teddy's mom. You know, I have no idea. I mean, I feel like she's really gonna be out there alone unless she decides she's gonna try and take over the family or something.
Well, is this the end of the story? Or are we gonna see them next season?
Oh, you're gonna see them.
Because now Chin's in jail. The question is, are we gonna see her next season?
Well, Moochie, think about it like this.
And who else she gonna kill because they love her?
Now that Chin is in jail, you gotta think about it like this. You don't think that Morgenthau's gonna try to put the squeeze on him to bring down the other families and get bumpy?
Oh, definitely.
And I could just tell you right now, Chin bitch ass look like a snitch all day.
Oh, Mo said plot twist. Stella's gonna get with Chance.
Oh, I would love it. Mo, I would love that. That would be pure entertainment. Oh my man. Oh my goodness.
That would be extraordinary right there. I'll tell you what, if they could actually write that in and make it believable, that would be an extraordinary piece of writing.
But Larry, they've done a good job so far making everything seem believable, except for like little nitpicks here and there. But you know, that's expected. But most things they've made look believable. Which brings us to our last subject I'm going to cover of the night. Then I'm going to let y'all have a much needed break from the Lamont Tyson channel. Oh boy.
What?
Oh boy. Talk to me about this, brother, and I'll start with you, Moochie. Talk to me about Omar and this plot to kill my man Malcolm. So Malcolm is doing an interview with Chris Wallace, and he had an iconic line in there too. Chris Wallace was asking him something along the lines of, why are your people out there looting? And is this the right way to show a protest? And Malcolm just hit him with facts. I was like, spit him out, Malcolm, spit him out. And then he also went into the fact that the property they're looting is owned by white folks. And then he went down the history of what black folks have had to endure from the white folks. And I was just like, damn, man, I can listen to this all day. He comes out, and first Bumpy comes to the rescue and takes out Chicago Bulls nose dude, and then points the gun on this guy. Moochie, you get first dibs on it.
With this scene, when they came and they took out the Malcolm's bodyguards, because he take out Malcolm's bodyguards?
Yes, they did.
I was like, Dad, I said, I hope Bumpy get there because they were showing all the traffic and stuff like that. I said, he gonna make it. And then when he showed up, I thought he was gonna kill him, but he let him go.
Damn.
I was like, what? Like, that part I didn't understand.
I don't get it either, because I feel like Omar is going to be the one that they're going to let kill Malcolm, even though we know who really killed Malcolm. I think they're going to let Omar be the one to do it.
I'll tell you what I think it is. I think that Bumpy has lost his taste for killing. Like, he does it when he has to. But if you remember, he was really messed up after that whole thing went down with the 10 Harlems. He doesn't want to have to keep killing black men. He's tired of it.
That makes sense. I get it.
And so I think he was willing to do it to save his mans and them, but he didn't want to.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Wow.
Well, I think if you know somebody got that mindset and you already killed one, might as well kill the other one. I get what you mean, what you saying though, Larry, but he should have blasted him.
Miss K's on.
I'm surprised he didn't take out the doggone blade and the against on him.
Go ahead, jump on in there, Larry. How'd you feel about the way they did the Malcolm saving by Bumpy scene?
I mean, I like that they did it. I mean, I know that it was one of those scenes where it was fun to watch it, but it was sort of anticlimactic because since we all know the history of Malcolm X, we know how he dies, and the way he died was so iconic. It's like we know that they're not going to do that, you know. Like, we are going to get that scene if probably in the next season. So we knew he wasn't going to die here. If they had killed him right here, people would have been like, "Wait, what?" People would have been like, "This whole show just turned to trash in one stupid scene." So we knew it wasn't going to happen. But it was you know, so it was interesting to see it play out, but it was we knew it wasn't happening. I think the more interesting thing about this scene is how it led into the next one with that pullback where they show the iconic photo of Malcolm with the AK out the window, and then they do that pullback. And as they pulled back and I saw that, I thought to myself, God, I wish this was real. I was just thinking, like, I wish this was real. I wish that was the actual photo that, like, no one had seen, and they had just sort of hid it away because they didn't want to scar Malcolm's, image with this gangster. But I was like, that would be so dope if that was actually real.
It would.
Jump in there, Miss Kate. I loved how they had these two standing by the window, which, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know, there is a real deal picture of Malcolm X standing at the window with his AK, just like that, with his daughter picture in the back. What you're seeing on the screen is me transposing with Bumpy. This is the real picture of Malcolm X with the new picture of Bumpy, but I love how they done this. They weave this into the story. You can take it, Miss K.
I love it. First of all, I'm laughing like I popped that ninja. That was hilarious. I like to use that. I like to use the ninja substitution every now and then myself. So, and then someone said something about the security guards facing. Listen, why were they facing forward? When at first when he went upstairs, they were facing like sideways, right? Mm-hmm. And okay, if you want to face one direction, okay, I face this direction, you face the other one. Instead, their stupid behinds both faced the same way, and it just goes back to where Bumpy said, "You need professionals." Yeah, you know, these freaking idiots stand the same way. Yep. I just was like, are we serious right now? That was just so dumb. So, I mean, I just, like I said, I loved the whole thing. That scene was dope at the end, but then also coming down the stairs and being face to face with basically death, right? But then Bumpy comes behind him with the razor. I was like, oh my, listen, I screamed. I already put this in my review though. I screamed when they shot Ernie, and I screamed when Malcolm came out of nowhere with that daggone blade.
So, I did too. Well, I screamed with the glasses part too.
Even though I was happy to see this guy go, but I was like, oh my gosh. The only satisfaction is, do you guys know if this guy is a real character? I don't think he's real, right? Brother Henry. Because the only, like, if he was real, the only satisfaction would be that Bumpy probably didn't really kill him, but the only satisfaction would be that he wouldn't live to see Malcolm really die. So, you know, because he hated him so much. But before we go, I don't know if I'm about to wrap it up, but my favorite quote of this episode was when Bumpy said, to be political, you got to be a little gangster. That right there, like, I wanted to have that for myself. I wanted to immediately post it somewhere, like I made it up and everything. I was like, this is so dope. I don't know how it resonated with anybody else, but I just thought it was real. I mean, I just love that quote. But I mean, and I just feel like, you know, it's sad because even though Bumpy was he was dropping some jewels, it didn't help Malcolm at the end of the day, because like you said, we know what's going to happen. It didn't really help him. And he's like accepting his fate. Like, I didn't expect to live long and stuff. But then when Bumpy says, what about your daughters? It's like, yeah, what about your kids? You want to say that you're not going to live long, but you have a whole family to think about. So that's my take on it.
I mean, you know, when you think about it, and not to say that I'm glad that the assassinations happened for King or for Malcolm, but in reality, their messages and their impact were magnified and you know and elevated because of their assassinations. If they weren't, they would have been like a lot of other men that were powerful. They would have gone on and said things eventually that probably would have upset people, and they would have been caught up in some scandal, and their legacy would have been tarnished, and they wouldn't have been who we think of them as today.
Yeah,
and
like Messy Jesse.
Yeah, they couldn't. They couldn't really kill him. They couldn't really kill him at the end of the day, right? Because their legacy lives on. So I wonder how people in Islam feel. I mean, it was the Nation of Islam. How do they really feel? Like, they have to be so salty. The ones that really hate Malcolm, oh my gosh. They still mad.
To this day, they still mad?
They gotta be mad. His name is all over the place.
Documentary that was talking crazy.
They still talking crazy. I just recently saw a video of Farrakhan talking crazy. I'm like, yo, I didn't even know Farrakhan was pressed.
Farrakhan had some hands in the plot to kill Malcolm X. I might, since y'all like that so much, we might even have to do a video about all that whole thing and Farrakhan's involvement and all that.
I want to do better. I want to do a watch party of the Netflix documentary of who killed Malcolm X. I wish we could set something like that up.
That is a good
a watch party and I don't know how we could set it up where it's just like whoever comes to the channel.
I think you can do it on like Discord or something.
Yeah, you could do it on Discord. You can do it on Twitch. You can do it on Twitch too. I think that the people that are watching this video is like 120 in here now. Please give me 120 likes. They would watch that stuff because me and Larry are in this group chat with a bunch of intelligent, doing things with their life brothers. And if Larry will tell you, I get on these tangents where right before I go to bed, I'll be watching all this Black history documentaries, how the Black church has helped, how the Black church is tainted. I'll be watching all this stuff, and I never do a review on it because I feel like the people wouldn't watch the review. But there's
well, let's ask them now. Put up a fist if you think you will participate in a watch party of the Malcolm X documentary.
Oh yeah, let's
put it up in the
comments. well, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for us. You've got your 2 days of Miss K. I hope you're satisfied. Don't be dropping no hammers on me.
Coming up.
It's only going to be Miss K for a little while because eventually it's going to be Dr. K.
Oh, yes, that's right. That's right. Yeah. Dr. K. Sound like a soda. Sound like a soda.
So get familiar now. Get familiar now so you can get your privileges,
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for us.
Coming up, y'all.
Hey, we might have to do something then. We're going to have to make it happen. Don't forget to like the video. Excuse me. Comment, subscribe. Dang. It's time for me to go. Peace.
Don't